Hi, my name's Sandy and I run a charity and a business for stopping domestic violence and a business and a charity. And today I'm going to read what is reactive abuse. This is abuse when you're targeted by others continually to the point where you then react in an upset way at the person or the group who are doing this to you. And then they will tell you that you're actually the abusive one, even though they were really the person or group who have been continually abusing you. And as a victim of this abuse, you'll reach a breaking point where you will eventually react to them by lashing out at the abusers themselves. And this abuse is done to shift the blame of their actions onto you and to project what they feel onto you so that you're now the cause of all the problems. And really you're not, and we're just minding your own business, doing your own thing. And often these types of abusers are really narcissists who will use these kind of tactics to attack you. And they make it so that everything is in their favour and you are to blame for every problem. They cannot hold any account. And they want to look good even though they actually caused the problem for you. And you'll see the abuser is the one who is actually holding all the power and the control in the situation over the other person. And the poor victim will feel confused and upset by all of the abuse. And sometimes they'll even have fear and depression, anxiety as a result of all the abuse they receive. And they can feel panicked, have separation anxiety, feel disorientated, and also really alone. And many will have flashbacks, hypervigilance, irritability, and even nightmares. And they'll live in fear and anxiety for a lot of the time. And an abuser that does this can ignore your pleas to stop, and they will punish you for trying you, and their goal is to try and control your life. Their goal is to keep you reactive, feeling upset and angry with them, so you lash out. And often even saying that they are really upset with you and that you should not react to their behaviour and need to control how you act. And reactive abuse is actually a way that a victim will try and stand up for themselves and defend their rights to be safe from the abuse that was actually used on them. And they will receive gaslighting, physical abuse, verbal abuse, even mind games being played with them, finding themselves in flight or fight mode all the time. And it's possible that they're unable to flee the area where they're being attacked and stalked. And they're not actually the cause of the problem. The abuser who started it is the actual cause. And any reaction will mean the abuser will use this as a reason to say that you, like the person being abused, is actually the abuser in the situation. And often an abuser will take a recording of the reaction that you have to say and tell others how they are being abused. And they can use other people as witnesses or flying monkeys. That's when they use other people. They can pay them to say things or do things. And these people will target the poor victim. And these other people will come to the defense of the abuser to say that they are really the ones being abused. And the poor victim will reach breaking point, feeling overwhelmed and alone and nowhere to go for help, because every effort they make to stop it gets nowhere. And here's how you can tell if it's reactive abuse. The behaviour being shown is not normal for that person. The person was provocated to react with aggressive actions that had been taken against them. And this, often they'll receive mind games, gaslighting, humiliation, personal threats, being targeted, insulted, lied, and stalked. And as a result of this, they react and stand up for themselves they're trying to get the abuse to stop. And number 3, they're reacting in a self-protective manner from some form of abuse, so it stops. And also the victim never started the chain of abuse that's happening. So the person that started it is the actual abuser. And the only reason the person reacted was because no other action changed the abuser's behaviour, and they're unable to stop the abuse. And number 4, often the victim will feel overwhelmed and confused. They feel guilty for reacting. They didn't want to react, but they did. They will hold shame and feel guilty for all of the exchange that's happening to them. They'll feel confused, can even doubt their own reality, and they'll feel unsure of what's actually going on. And number 7, the victim will feel fear, and all the victim's actions are being used against them as evidence of their bad behaviour and why they are the abuser. And this is really controlling and manipulating. And this type of abuse will affect the victim's self-esteem and their mental health. They'll feel isolated, they can have trouble sleeping, and they'll feel really unsafe. An abuser will always make the victim feel that they're at fault for all the behaviour and the dynamic, that the abuser is never ever at fault. They can't do anything wrong, they're perfect, they cannot admit that they have some part in it. And the victim will feel like they're losing their mind and could be going mad when others don't listen or to anything the victim says and what's happening to them. And they'll be very alone and isolated. And this victim is being gaslit. They will feel bad, they'll feel guilty, they can even become dependent on the abuser for everything, and sometimes they even give up their own life and their own goals to suit the abuser. And the best thing you can do if you're receiving this type of abuse is to educate yourself about it, to understand that this is just another type of abuse. And it's a pattern of behaviour that's happening to you, and to see the behaviour for what it is, it's abuse. And your abuser is trying to get a reaction out of you in any way that they can, so that they can say that you're the problem. And the best thing you can do is try really hard to not react in any way, to walk away, to stop, block, or contact if you can, so they can no longer engage with you. And always get yourself some help and support so you're no longer alone. You can also work on your triggers so that you no longer react to any tactics that they use. And if this behaviour is from a partner or a friend, it might be time to leave the relationship, and so that you're feeling safe. Okay, and if you like this write-up, you can push the like button, and you can also subscribe to our page. Thank you.